was basically concentrating on the fields which may be good for you in pursuing your future career. So career prospects will be covering many areas. First of all, the myth which is going on. Of course, our economy is passing through a very disastrous times, and you know the GDP has gone down to a very large. It is really, the recovery is getting tougher. So now when we see that the GDP is declining and the economy is suffering, now what we think is that all of this is because of the manufacturing sector going down, and this is true. So if this sector goes up, then of course the economy is going to be up. As we all know that manufacturing is the backbone of any economy. So the prospects for our future, if we think that mechanical engineers will not be needed in the future because of the ongoing slaughter, we are wrong, because the situation is going to change very soon. And I'll give you a survey, the analysis of a survey in which India was shown at a higher level in the upcoming years. So once we see the projections in growth, this is 2016-2020. If you see, India was at 11th position, and this is based on analysis. They project that India is going to be at the 6th, 5th position. It's going to climb up. And this is what? This is manufacturing competitiveness. So when we talk about manufacturing competitiveness, it is directly related to mechanical engineers. So first of all, it is a myth that mechanical engineering is going to finish, right? We are going to go up and up. Engineers are needed for any economy, especially mechanical engineers. Even if you are graduating in millions, still you will be required. But of course, there are some benchmarks. Once we move ahead, broadly, if we classify the areas in which our students can go, you all know mechanical engineer at the undergraduate, postgraduate and PhD levels. So when we talk about undergraduate levels, you can see these are the areas which are widely covered. And I've even given the companies, the major stakes of these companies are in these areas. So they are covered here. If you talk about the job opportunities, they are there even in these companies. Yes, Rolls-Royce is also hiring mechanical engineers, and in India. So far as PG job opportunities are concerned, we can see these companies are hiring specially postgraduates in mechanical engineering. So when I say mechanical engineering, it comprises of all the 4 areas: industrial and production, thermal, design, right? All of this. Okay. What you can do after BTech? That was a very common question from our students. So our students can really go for a technical job. They can open their own venture, right, which we say startups. The other option can be going for MS or MTech, and you may go for civil services. The other option can be going for an MBA, but of course from a reputed institute, not from any other institute. You may go for defense services. They require a lot of mechanical engineers. Every year they are advertising. And the best part of defense services is that you can retire after 20 years of service with full benefits. Full benefits means you can retire and take another job. And after 20 years of serving, Indian Army, Navy or Air Force, defense services, the companies, they hire you straight away. As you see in our university also, the head of electronics, General Dr. O.P. Malik, he is a general from Army. Mr. Irfanullah, who is sitting in examination and all, he is teaching in management. He is from defense services. So there are many people. So this 20 years of service benefits, because after you retire you even get pension, and then also you can go for another job, which would be much easier. So these are the main options. What else? Well, I'll summarize here all these options. Get a job in a core technical. As I said, the reality with only a BTech, maybe less than 1% get employed in core technical. Second one may be in public sector, like IAS, PSU, central state governments. Third is MS MTech one, go abroad in one of the best universities and pursue research. You can go for IAS, which are the civil services. You can build a CAT if you are capable. Well, CAT, plenty of coachings are there. You can join one. Open the gate for MTech. You can qualify for gate and go for IITs, right? Getting a good score in gate, and ultimately the defense services. What else? The last option can be going abroad in an ordinary college university. In countries with easier immigration laws, if you cannot get admission in good universities in developed countries, you can take admission in mediocre universities. Stay there for some years, get immigration. These countries are the most preferred: Australia and Canada. In general, if we talk about the mechanical engineers options, we can summarize them: administrative and managerial positions. This is what you do in the companies. You can also be involved in research or teaching. In broader terms, the job profile of a mechanical engineer. These are the things which mainly a mechanical engineer is doing. Research and development, which we broadly call as R&D. Production, design, analysis and testing, installation and maintenance. All of these areas, they are badly needing mechanical engineers. If we talk about the industry, these are all the industries which require mechanical engineers. You can see the scope. The scope which is unlimited for mechanical engineers. That's why we call it an evergreen field where you can pump in, but provided you have the guts to do it. So you see thermal power industry from here to the automobile industry, even pharmaceutical. You are making a product, you need a mechanical engineer. And tell me a place where you don't make a product. Wherever you make a product, you need a mechanical engineer. Okay. For the next one, if we see these companies, which is Delhi and around, Siemens, DMRC, Bharat Electronics. This one is also offering a lot of jobs for engineers these days, and many others. By the way, I am going to upload this presentation on the group website. Section B and Section C are there. Section A students, they are there in my 6th semester group, so they can access that group. They'll get an email. What are you expected to do broadly? There are many things which you can do. Designing and implementing what? Economical equipment modifications to improve safety and reliability. Very important task done by mechanical engineers. Creating project specifications with teammates. You will have all sorts of manuals with you. You will be playing with all the data and you will be creating the project specifications. Then designing, testing, developing. Project management. Monitoring and commissioning plant and systems. So commissioning is when you are putting a new plant. Starting of the plant is known as commissioning. Right? So these are all 5 important things. There are many more which probably I have left out. Can you move ahead, sir? If we talk about the areas, these are the broad areas. You all know what is production, which is dealing with mechanical components and machines. Then you have the design, where you are drafting technical drawings manually or with the aid of computer. These days it's all by computers, right? For which you are learning AutoCAD and all. But don't think that you will be designing in AutoCAD by yourself. There are draftsmen doing it. Engineer's role will be slightly different. Technicians are actually sitting on AutoCAD and doing all the work. I'm correct, sir. Engineer's role is a little ahead of them. You are supervising them. Now, maintenance. It is also one of the major areas in which our students can get employed. Installation. Whenever new machines are installed, this is the task of the engineers. Even fresh engineers are going for installation. They are taught, they are given some initial training, they are going for this. R&D involves doing research and thereafter planning. Both of them are involved there. Analysis and testing. This involves many types of tests. And it incorporates, of course, some very state-of-the-art softwares. Today, Osama sir has agreed to give you the two softwares which will be very useful for you for HVAC. And he has even promised to help you out in sorting out the problems if you facing. Let us see the research options after B.Tech. See, it's not necessary. There are some students, I know some of you, they are really good. So good students, they go for research. So you can go for postgraduate scholarship. And of course for that you need to get a hand on GATE. What are the companies? BARC, Bhabha Atomic Research Center, ISR. These are all encouraging young mechanical engineers to join them for research. Then also, if you see, GATE is actually helping you to fire many rounds by one barrel. Right? GATE is helping you in PSUs, GATE is helping you in getting a postgraduate research, wherever. Even some of the universities in US, Canada and some developed countries, they recognize GATE as the ultimate test and they accept your GATE scores. Especially Singapore, which is having world's top ranking university, National University of Singapore. And in top 10 there is another university in Singapore which is called Nanyang Technological University, NTU. Both of these universities are high ranking universities and they accept top GATE scores. Straight away they take admission. Not only admission, they give you citizenship. Singapore has special criteria for meritorious students, giving them scholarships. Then engineering services, yes, it is a difficult bet, but then it is again an option for you. Now government jobs, as I told you, GATE. It is one of the de facto tests which you have to appear in and getting good scores. And I guess as I heard, the scores above 70, they land you in a good job, right, in the PSUs. And getting 70 is not easy, mind you. Students are preparing for years and they are not getting such scores. But it's not impossible as well. Okay, sir. One option is to get job in government sector. These can be the companies, probable companies. Most of it you know, right? I don't need to write, especially this company maybe is not very popular, Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. But rest of the companies you all very well know. Higher degree after B.Tech. These are all the areas. Of which my suggestion will be the first one. Sorry, I prefer this one. And I have reasons for it. I can prove it. We can fight later on. But sir, I am challenging you, sir. This is one of the most promising areas and India is lacking in this. India has very few industrial engineers. India has not realized the importance of industrial engineering yet. Okay. I hope all of you know this, right? Mechatronics will be suitable for automation guys. For MS, you see, in foreign countries, developed countries, they don't call it MTech, they call it MS. MS stands for Master of Science. Unfortunately, India has its own norms. Science stands for SC, which is an Indian shortcut name. Okay? Normally, science, S stands for science, Master of Science. And of course, you require these two things, either TOEFL or IELTS. And if you want to go for US or Canada, then you ought to have GRE also. GRE gets a little difficult because the standard of English is very high in GRE. TOEFL is very simple, damn easy to qualify, but GRE is not. And getting high GRE scores can land you up in a top university. You can land in a top university in US and get good scholarships also. Major countries opting for MS. These are all the countries. You all know these countries, right? Germany I wrote first because it is a heaven for mechanical engineers, as I've been always telling my class students. If you want to go for MS, especially mechanical engineers, Germany is heaven for, because Germany is a country which is producing plenty of top-notch machines. You name a top company, an automated inspection system or an automated machine, it is made in Germany. Okay, sir. Any projects option. This is also an option, which very few will tell you. Go for a career in IT sector. IT sector, but on mechanical projects. Right? So, the following companies, they are regularly recruiting mechanical engineers for their IT projects. So if somebody is making, a software, if these companies are making a software in manufacturing resource planning, for example, MRP2, then can the IT guy understand what is MRP2? They ought to have some mechanical engineering guys. That is why I listed these companies. Industrial training final. This is a big question for our students. These companies, they have, they are offering industrial training to our students. They encourage. But you need a letter from the HOD and approach them independently. You don't need any kind of reference. Right? If you approach the right guy, there are chances that you may get this particular training in these companies. These companies specifically, they are offering 6 months training to their students, which is of course a big question for you in the 8th semester. Many students, they came to me and they were asking the name of the companies which may need these guys. They can train our students for 6 months. So all of these companies, right from Eicher Tractors to Falcon Tires, all of them, they are offering this 6 months option. But I'm not saying that this is guaranteed, but you may approach them. As I know people who have approached them independently and they got this 6 months training option from them. Now, overall, I'm going to summarize. Don't think for one particular stream. Try for multiple streams. You are not here to decide, right now you are not at a stage to decide that I am going to do this. Try for multiple streams. You can make a career in that, because all of them are related to your area. Next slide. An engineering degree is only a rubber stamp. And rubber stamp is how easy to delete and how easy to, just throw water in it and it goes off. So it is a rubber stamp. That you have a technical degree, that's it. So you work on understanding the fundamentals of the subjects. You study rather than focus on where you will get placed. Focus on your subjects. It is very late, but still there is ample of time left. And you cannot forego the subjects you have studied or you are studying right now. Especially the 7th sem subjects. They are very, very important for you. In fact, the syllabus is designed in a manner that we have put them in the 7th semester so that all the students, they understand the value of these subjects. Third thing which I would suggest is, these are my personal suggestions. Try for MBA entrance exams. See? Try. Right? Get a little bit of preparation. Because the syllabus is high school, up to high school. The mathematics is damn cheap for you. For you means the students of BTech, right? Course. So, an IIM degree, of course, will take you very far in your career. So if you can drop out for a year, join any coaching like Time or any other coaching, top-notch coaching. You can afford it, do it. Once you land in an IIM, your career is, it's only going to go up. If that is not interest, you can become like us, right? In the end. And we are not bad either. So if that is not interest, go for an MTech, followed by a PhD, right? Getting a PhD is not very difficult. In fact, my experience says, although I am not a PhD yet, my experience says, and Jafri sir will confirm it, that BTech is much difficult than an MTech or a PhD. The number of subjects you are studying, the number of exams you are taking, enormous, right? So, PhD, yes, there are plenty of PhDs in India also right now. But outside India, especially in Middle East countries, there are plenty of jobs for PhDs. So if you can afford 5 years, go for it. By hook or by crook, get a PhD. Get some papers published, and there is a very bright career for you after completing your PhD. If not in India, then outside India. The jobs in Gulf countries, at least they are paying 10,000 riyals. 10,000 dirham, 10,000 riyals. At least. For PhD holders. And yes, they take freshers. It's not that they don't take. Okay? Now I am coming to my zone. ERP. Right? It can be a career option. And a very good career option. If you go for it. If you see here, we have many things here. But what is related to us is production and inventory. Right? Rest of it, well, MRP. Materials Requirement Planning. Right? All of these three, they are the main part of an ERP system. These are the companies which are major stakeholders in ERP. And of course, the leader is SAP. So as I discussed in the class many times, this is the leader. The second is Oracle, and rest of them they follow. As mechanical engineers, the logical options among SAP applications, mostly these three are the main options for mechanical engineers. One is production planning, we call it PP. The other is plant maintenance. There is a maintenance module in each SAP, and then materials management, which includes this MRP1, MRP2. As a fresher, you will have lesser options in employment. That is a problem with entry. SAP entry in an ERP is not easy, but once you enter, it becomes, you gain experience, they hire you at a very good salary. Now as you grow in your career as a SAP consultant, this is after you gain at least 2 years experience. Normally what they call is one life cycle experience, one implementation experience, which is normally of 2 to 3 years. It is enough for you to land up in a very good job. So As a SAP consultant, you can join the core sector, and that will be really, really beneficial to you. As for training, there are many institutes they are offering SAP training. Nobody is offering 100% guarantee for placement, but some of them, they help you in placement. Some of them are SAP authorized institutes, authorized by this SAP AG Germany. This SAP company is from Germany, SAP AG. They offer placement assistance, that means they don't guarantee you. Where after the successful completion of certification, they send you your resume to companies looking for certified freshers, and they also want recruitment drives. So there are chances of getting a job, but it's not guaranteed. But at least you will have something in your hand. You can go for it. Of course, these institutes, they will charge you a heavy fees. It's not cheap. The city, if you're talking about SAP, Bangalore. Of course, as you know, most of the software companies are in Bangalore, which is the called hub of Asia, right? So it is called the Silicon Valley of Asia. Around 3,000 software companies are in Bangalore. So you will have to migrate to Bangalore probably for completing your career in SAP. If you wish to enhance your global job prospects, now when I am talking about global, it's global, right? Getting trained in an ERP system helps you become global. SAP jobs are the best fit to career your goals, right? What else? You can land up in Fortune 500 companies, because SAP serves 80% of Fortune 500 companies. I hope you know what is Fortune 500 companies. They are the top 500 companies of the world. In the end, become the mechanical engineer and not just another mechanical engineering graduate. This is how my presentation ends. I hope you enjoyed it. The next leg of the presentation will be done by Osama sir, and he will be continuing it.
I think Rizvi sir is